Are there some things you didn't know about the entire Chris Brown Soulja Boy beef? Like how the biggest celebrity fight at that time didn't come to fruition? Keep watching to find out. The year was 2017, and this whole entire beef started over an Instagram photo. Soulja Boy commented on Chris Brown's ex Karrueche's photo, basically putting a whole row of heart eye emojis underneath the Instagram caption. Well, that triggered Chris Brown in an unimaginable way. He called Soulja Boy directly, asking him to fight. And what made this matter even worse is that Soulja Boy aired out the entire conversation on Twitter. He tweeted, "Chris Brown just called me and said he wanted to fight me because I liked Karrueche's picture on Instagram. This brother a bitch." I'm not going to say the N-word. He also tweeted in another post, "Hey, at Chris Brown, pull up, brother. I'll knock your bitch ass out. Stop snorting so much coke, brother." Insinuating that Chris Brown was on all the cocaine in the world, and that's why he's making this outlandish statement about him fighting Soulja Boy in a boxing match. What began to ramp up this beef even more was when they began dissing each other on IG. And we finally got somewhat of a root of this beef when Soulja Boy called out Chris Brown for his beating of Rihanna back in 2009, which is probably the most intense trials of recent memory. Now, that's a touchy subject for anybody, especially for Chris Brown, because he doesn't want to be remembered as a woman beater. And that made the fight seem way more inevitable than before. But then in a shocking twist, Soulja Boy posted an emotional video with his mom being in the hospital. He was going through a very tough personal time, apologizing to Chris Brown and asking to make music with him before the end of the year, saying it's not about who starts the beef, it's about who ends them. And everyone thought, okay, well, now it's over. It was fun while it lasted. But when you think it couldn't get any more wackier, that's when it did. A few days later, both men confirmed that they would fight in a boxing match. They both confirmed on their social media that the fight would be in March in Vegas on pay-per-view. And who out of all people encouraged the fight to happen and instigated the fight to happen was the one and only 50 Cent, commenting under one of Soulja Boy's posts about the fight that Chris Brown would not only win, but would win by knockout. And this whole saga got even crazier when Soulja Boy announced that either Floyd Mayweather or Evander Holyfield would be his main trainer for the fight. And if Floyd Mayweather wasn't going to corner him, then Floyd Mayweather was definitely going to promote the fight under the TMT banner, Mayweather Promotions. And it was going to be bigger than any other Jake Paul fight, any other Logan Paul KSI fight, because this was between two of the most iconic artists of our time. That's when people were like, whoa, this is getting real. All right, who do you got? I got Chris Brown. You got Soulja Boy? All right, I'll put 500 on Chris Brown. You got Soulja Boy too? All right, well then let's put 1,000 on Chris Brown. That is when this was beginning to become the biggest fight of 2017, and 2017 barely started. Then Soulja Boy did something way out of left field. He did what no one should do when you're trying to sell a fight. He dragged Chris Brown's daughter, Royalty, into the beef. Soulja Boy posted in an Instagram post saying, "Chilled with Royalty and Naya, Chris Brown's baby mama, at Floyd's house," along with the devil emoji. And everyone knew right then and there that's when this became more than a beef. It was truly personable. In retaliation to that Instagram post, Chris Brown posted a furious video going in on Soulja Boy, saying that you shouldn't post about my daughter. Leave my daughter out of it.
My daughter? Stop talking about my daughter, bro. That shit ain't cool.
As bold a move as that was, and as low a move as that was, that only made interest in the fight taken up to a whole new level. So to remind you guys, this whole thing started about January 3rd of 2017. But this fight was supposed to happen in March, and it got pushed forward to January. Brown demanded the fight to be pushed forward to January 28th, giving the fighters about 3 more weeks to prepare. As they both started posting videos of them working out for the fight, Chris Brown was hitting pads, only further cementing that he was going to get a for sure win should this fight take place. So you know how Soulja Boy wanted to be trained by either Mayweather or Holyfield. Well, it was then announced that Holyfield would officially train Soulja Boy. Well, who's going to train Chris Brown? Nobody really knew until Mike Tyson announced that he would train Chris Brown. And that only made people go crazy, made people's minds blow. And Mike Tyson posted in a video on Instagram, he inserted himself into the beef. He's going to teach Chris Brown all the dirty tricks in the book to beat Soulja Boy, and basically was the biggest henchman for Chris Brown. He was like on team Chris Brown. He was ride or die Chris Brown, dropping a weird music video that I definitely suggest to go watch because it is funny. Mike Tyson rapping is definitely something to behold. I could die a happy man knowing that he dropped a diss track towards Soulja Boy. Then a few days later, Soulja Boy announces the real reason of the beef, and it was still over a female. It was over Rihanna. Soulja Boy said in an interview with Hollywood Unlocked that after Brown assaulted her in 2009, Rihanna hung out with Soulja Boy and they spent some time together. They definitely fucked. I don't care what you say. They definitely fucked. And I'm sure Rihanna told Soulja all the dirty secrets that Chris Brown did to her. And that only made Soulja's dislike for Chris Brown even more bad than what it originally was. And Chris Brown, who knows, maybe he still had feelings for Rihanna, but that only made him want to beat up Soulja Boy even more because, again, you're basing this beef on a touchy subject, and in the end, this whole beef was based on a female. My parents told me never fight over a female, but in the end, I feel like that is the best prize to fight over. That's bigger than any belt, that's bigger than any money, is fighting over a female, and in the end, it was going to make for great TV and great money for both of these men. And with the diss track coming out between Chris Brown, Mike Tyson hopping on the diss track, it only made people more interested. But again, people were getting antsy, and in the end, the fight got moved from Vegas to Dubai because of rules and regulations. And there's a theory that both fighters didn't want to be drug tested because they wanted to be all juiced to the gills and have any physical and mental advantage they could have over each other to make the fight even better. And I'm all for that in this instance, not in professional boxing. And at this point, with the fight being moved from this location to that location, the beef just became exhausting. And what made people truly tired of this and wish that they would just fight and get it over with was when Chris Brown called off the fight between him and Soulja Boy, saying all the wrong people got in the way and this beef was childish. It was petty. There was no reason for us to fight at all. Maybe he finally came to his senses, understanding that, hey, we don't have to fight over a female, but I'm going to get my hands on him one day. And people were so conflicted by that statement because, okay, you have a chance to fight him, but yet you're calling off the fight, and then you're saying to the contrary that you'll still fight him. Whether that be a street fight or what, nobody knew. But the opportunity was right in front of Chris Brown to do whatever he wanted to Soulja Boy within legalities, within a legal setting, within a commissionalized setting. Meanwhile, Soulja Boy's side of the story was saying, I got a call from my manager saying that the fight was off. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Very vague and very aloof to the point on why this fight was truly canceled. Nobody knew who to believe. But at the end of the day, guys, I believe that Chris Brown, A, would have won the fight, but also B, I felt he was truly scared for this fight to take place. Because again, he had every opportunity. It was right in front of him, and he still chose to do nothing. He still chose for the fight not to take place. Everyone was involved, from Mayweather to 50 Cent, who owns part of Bellator, who knows a lot about the fight game, to Holyfield, to Tyson. With those four names being involved, it just shows that these two men were taking this fight truly serious. And it was going to be the true paveway for celebrity boxing. Before Jake Paul, before Logan Paul, this was going to be the fight that would have made celebrity boxing what it is today. And since then, there has been no rumors on if, when, or how this fight will ever happen. I think this was truly a thing of the past, and I feel like this fight should have happened. It would have been the biggest fight of that month, because when it came to MMA or when it came to boxing, no huge events were going on at that time, and this one would have probably done great pay-per-view numbers. And I feel like it's a shame that this fight didn't happen, because I felt like the true winners out of this wouldn't have only been Chris Brown and Soulja Boy, but it would have been the fans, to prove that, hey, these guys are as hard as they say they are, but we are never going to get that. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think about this entire beef in the comment section below. Let me know whose side you were on. Were you on Team Chris Brown's side? Were you on Team Soulja Boy's side? Who would have won the fight? As always, it's your boy Hollywood AJ. I'll see you all in the next one.